So yesterday we've talked about circuits. So if I were to ask you what are the three main components of a circuit, what would you say? Okay, an electric circuit has to be made up of load, some sort of connector, and a source. Okay, so like a simple circuit that we were drawing, it's like if we have a battery of some sort and it's hooked up to a load. So I'm gonna put a light bulb here. And what happened is electrons is going to start flowing once the thing is plugged in. Okay, so electrons always kind of come out from the negative terminal and they go around the light bulb. Okay, and basically what happened is electrons are already in the wire. And when this battery and this load is here, it's actually enough potential difference to get the electron to start moving along. And basically today is going to talk about how quickly are these electrons flowing. So current is the word that we're going to be talking about. It's basically how quickly is the electrons flowing. Okay, so let's highlight the definitions in here. So electric current is the measure of how many electrons pass a certain point in a given time. We use the symbol I and we use the unit amperes. And the equation is I equals Q divided by T. And notice that it's helpful to have this table. So I'm gonna probably work on it with you in the next one. It's just that when you remember how when you recognize a unit, it's a lot easier when you do your math problem. And the other thing that I wanted you to add is the magic triangle. So you have I equals Q divided by T. If you need it, it's helpful to do your magic triangle. Okay, Q and T, see how Q is at the top? So I would be writing this out like that. So that means there's three different ways that you can solve for it. Okay, they can ask for I. If they ask for I, remember how we said we would cover it up? We would take, I don't know, I'm just going to do a shape. Okay, I would cover the I up. And notice Q is at the top and T is at the bottom. So to write the equation is Q divided by T. But then say opposite, say if I want to find Q, the question asks, calculate the charge, right? The charge is Q, okay? Then what you do is with the magic triangle, I'm going to move the magic triangle. I'm going to cover up Q. Q is what I'm looking for. And then see I is on the left, T is on the right. So they're beside each other. So it's I times T. Okay? And then how about if we want to solve for T? If I want to solve for T, I would write T equals, and then I'm going to take my magic triangle. I'm going to cover up the T. That's what I want. Q is at the top. I is at the bottom. So Q is at the top. I is in the bottom. Okay, so that means in this type of question, if you recognize words like, oh, what's current, what time, figure out what equation you're using, and then this will help you to figure out what it is. So if I were you, if I were writing things down, I would totally copy out this table. I would totally write the equation out, the triangle, and these three equations. And it'll be helpful for me. Okay, we also talked about the ammeter already yesterday when we were drawing a symbol, and we already talked about it, but I'm going to highlight it again. Whenever they say that you have to measure a current, meaning I, the symbol is I have to use this object. That is called an ammeter. Ammeter has a shape of a circle with a capital A, and we always have to connect it in series. Okay, and then the other definitions are things that are called direct current versus alternate current. So AC, DC. Okay, direct current is when the electrons, the current are moving in one direction. So on the test, I could say, give me an example of something that is a DC current. Just think of anything that uses a battery. So like flashlight or something like that. The one that requires battery. Okay, alternate current is when the currents are in reverse direction. They actually alternate means they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And basically any appliances that use a wall outlet would be an example of something that uses an alternate current. say for example your oven. So the key thing is that it's plugged into the wall. Okay? And then you'll be like, how about my cell phone? When I'm charging, I'm plugged into the wall. When I'm not charging, then it's not plugged in. It actually using both. Okay? So when you're charging, what happened is it uses AC current from the wall, but there's always this little adapter that actually convert it into DC current to put it in your phone. All right, so conventional current. So these are drawing pictures. Okay, remember how we have short is negative and long is positive? When we're saying how is conventional current moving, they start from the positive. Current has a symbol of I, so it comes this way and it goes around and it comes back to the negative terminal. But if we talk about electrons flow, it starts from the negative terminal. Okay, so that means electron flow goes from this way and they go around the circuit like this. Okay, sample problem. Calculate the amount. They want you to calculate current that travels through an electric toaster that takes 900 coulombs of charge to toast 2 slices of bread in 2 minutes. All right, let's write out our given. I have 900 coulombs of charge. So I have 900 coulombs. This is so not familiar. Okay, that's why it's helpful to have the charge. Okay, when I see something measured in coulombs, it means the symbol is Q. Okay, so I know that in the question they gave me Q. And then they also give me 2 minutes. That is my time. 2 minutes. But I don't use 2 in the question because you have to always come back and check what is the SI unit for time. They want it in seconds. So I need to convert my minute into seconds. So if you remember, every minute has 60 seconds. So I have to times it by 60. So how many seconds are there in total? I have 120 seconds in total. And they would like you to calculate what is current. So current is I. If you don't know it, go back to this chart. Okay, current is I. I'm looking for I. So the equation for I is Q divided by T. So it matters how you rearrange your equation. Depends on what you're looking for. So I'm looking for I equals Q over T. Okay, now that I've gotten my given, when I see Q, I'm going to write 900 coulombs. And then when I go time is 120 seconds. Make sure it's in the proper unit. So take your 900 divided by 120. Okay, so 7.5. Unit for current is ampere, capital A. So let's talk about the success criteria. How do you get full marks? I find that people still are not getting the full mark because they're missing things, okay? You have to have the equation. You have to sub in and show me the step that you're plugging the numbers in. And you would need to do that. Write the answer with the proper unit. You will lose half a mark if the unit is either incorrect or it's not there. And also within the question, this question is out of 3. But then if you actually didn't convert this, you actually would lose 1 mark if you didn't put it in the correct unit. Okay, so this is the success criteria. So make sure you follow them in every single problem that you do.